sip wine, wine, wine. Kick my feet up when I get tired. And as I regrind, take another sip, let my thoughts unwind, wine. Sipping and spilling it. Sipping and spilling the tea. Sipping and spilling it.
Poppin', everyone.
What's poppin'?
How you niggas doing?
It's feeling like these niggas miss us. Do you miss me, Sammy?
It's been a while since I've seen you.
Do you miss me?
Of course.
Okay, I just need to hear it because Sammy doesn't give me a little bit of just a what. So I just need to always hear it. But yeah, I haven't seen you in like 80 years. It's like you got a tan. This bitch came back. She's a whole different fucking person. I was like, vacation looks good on all my friends. All my friends have been on vacation except me.
You went on vacation recently.
When?
You went to Mexico.
When?
That was the last vacation you went
That
to?
was like 2 months ago.
You know I feel like there's going to be people listening to that. They're like, wow, 2 months. It's been like years since I've been on vacation.
And that's crazy because I'm going to Mexico again in like 3 weeks for Devin's birthday.
Okay.
So I'm just like, and then Aaron asked me, he's like, oh, do you want to go to Mexico? And he's like, late. I said, I get that Mexico is right there, but can we like start expand? Well, granted, it's the most inexpensive. It really is the most inexpensive.
I don't mind a Mexico trip.
Girl, I know you, but I feel like I'm Mexico to death.
I've been to Mexico many times, and I will go many more times. I understand why. Like, it's just there, but I agree with you. Let's expand our horizons. Because I won't go back to Mexico anytime soon. Yeah. But I know I will eventually go back to Mexico.
Oh, I know that is like our safe haven because it's like an easy getaway, like a $200, $300 ticket. Right. But I'm trying to I'm trying to experience new people, new places, new niggas. Yeah. That's just it. So
I think my next trip, I want to go to Belize.
As you should.
Yes.
You should.
I think that's where I'm going to go.
Yes. Manifesting it.
But it's going to be around your birthday.
Around my birthday?
Yeah. Because, every 3 or 4 months I go on a trip. 3-4 months around your birthday.
Okay, we'll get into that after, because. So, travel aside, we're going to get into our motherfucking game, because if not, we're going to keep talking like we ain't never seen each other a day in our life. So, y'all know the game, y'all know the rules, and she already got her tequila ready, so we about to start with the first card. Boom. It is, who does Outkast say Sorry Miss Jackson to? Goes out to.
All the baby mamas, the baby mamas. I don't know, what else?
No, that's right.
Okay.
But I feel like you looked at this card, because how would you know that? Because I wouldn't have thought that.
Sorry, Miss Jackson. I
know, but I don't remember the part where he says baby mamas, mamas, and baby mamas.
Yeah, okay. He does say that.
Okay, well, I guess you're right.
This is not fair because you don't get to drink.
Well.
So you got to do something because that's not fair. I get to drink and you don't do nothing.
I can do a.
Okay.
Yeah.
Come on.
I mean, you're next, bitch. What do you mean, come on?
Okay, I'm confused. It said, why didn't Andre 3000's baby mess around? That's why I'm looking at you like, girl, what the hell?
Why didn't Andre 3000's baby mama mess around?
No, why didn't Andre 3000's baby mess around?
Mess around?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Because she loved him.
Yeah, that was a bad one.
Oh.
Okay, I'm going to choose
Maybe
one.
you're just not an Outkast fan.
Maybe, because what album was this song on? Oh, so this is one of those cards where you can do a challenge. So it says, what album was this song on? So I'm going to play you a song. And you're going to say,
just any song?
Yeah, any song.
Oh, okay.
And then you're going to tell me what album this is on.
Picking like a song I would know.
I'm going to, okay? Like, because I know it's not going to be a white song.
I know some of them too.
Okay, let's see. Because I was just,
oh my goodness.
It's not going to be hard.
You need Apple Music so you can go faster.
So I chose the challenge card and it says, what album was this song on?
Okay.
So got it pulled up, y'all, because if y'all would have saw the debauchery earlier, here we go. It's Usher. Early Usher.
I don't know any. I don't know.
You don't need to hear a little bit more just to know? Or
the album?
Yeah, the album.
I don't know.
It's Can You Help Me? It's on 8701.
I don't know this song.
Oh my gosh,
I don't even know the song.
That's a great song. I should have chose something like Yin Yang Twins or something.
I told you to choose something I would know.
I thought you would know Usher.
not that one. At what age was Tupac kicked out the streets? I don't know this one. That's a hard one.
I want to say 14, 15.
No, 17 years old. That was a hard one.
That's pretty old, though, because I'm thinking the way he was rapping, that his struggle started early.
Maybe it did.
So I feel like maybe he lied to us.
Girl.
Okay, let's get into our story time. So
we got a PS motherfucking A.
Oh, was a PSA before the story time?
Yes, ma'am.
Damn,
I know
girl.
it's been a while, but I'm the forgetful one.
Damn, girl. Maybe I need a little bit of liquor in me. Okay, continue.
Yeah. I got a PS motherfucking A, y'all. And I'm tired of you holy bitches using the devil for everything that happened in your life. Y'all always say, oh, the devil did this. There's this little woman, I don't know what her problem is, but she came on TikTok to do what most women do on TikTok, embarrass themselves. And she was telling a story about how the devil tried to ruin her marriage because while she was pregnant, her husband abandoned her for the whole pregnancy, moved in with the girlfriend. The mom was sending her updates about how the girlfriend and the woman were back together, but she stayed a good holy woman, and the devil wasn't going to ruin this, and God was trying to show her this, make her this disciple, and and her husband came back to her and all that. She was like, God was doing this. Maybe God was trying to tell you to leave your man.
That was
maybe
probably a
God
fact. Yeah.
put that, because not only did your husband abandon you for the whole 9 months, the whole entire pregnancy, he didn't even speak to her once. He moved in with the new bitch, and then the mom is updating you on the life of the new bitch and your husband. And you just welcome him back with open arms, saying, yes, I am a good Christian woman, and God is showing me this because I'm his strongest soldier, and I'm supposed to forgive because that's what a good Christian woman does, and it's the devil that did all that. The devil maybe was trying to tell you something.
The devil is your husband.
The devil is actually, right.
I would love for people to stop using religion to excuse behavior. I feel the same way you feel.
Yes.
Because I don't understand why God wants to test how strong you are. Because guess what? I'm going to fail every time.
Girl.
I don't want that strength.
I've
never wanted to be tested. Like, I remember, what was it? There was one of my friends, she was like, oh yeah, because you remember in the book of Job where he had to lose everything for God to know he was a writer. If I lose everything, I'm ending it all. Like,
girl, don't act like a white man.
That's gonna be my 13th reason why. If I lose everything, if I have to lose everything for God to know that I have faith in Him, I don't. I'm sorry.
You know what? And religion is great, but I just hate how religion is used to manipulate and I want to say to enslave people's minds, because it's almost like a cult-like.
And I feel like especially Black women when it comes to their devotion to their family and husband, XYZ. Because religion is just like, well, in the Bible they say honor. So what does the Bible say to do to your wife? Because didn't they say honor your wife?
The thing is, adultery is a sin. It's one of the 10 commandments. So why is it that you have to forgive something that you know your husband will never forgive you for?
Hello?
He will have left you because guess what? He loves himself. He knows better, So if you want to open your arms up to that man, the bitch had to turn her comments because people were saying, bitch, what the hell? Like, anyone listening to what you're saying and you're telling us that your husband abandoned you your whole entire pregnancy. He did not. You sent him pictures. He would not reply. He would not answer your call or text. He was checked up with the new bitch. And the crazy thing is, you don't even realize the only reason he went back to you is because the old bitch left him. The new bitch left him. That's what happened. She got sick of him, left him, and now you got him back. And now you're so happy because God returned your husband to you. No, he did not.
And I keep always saying the biggest embarrassment is when your nigga try to cheat on you and then you leave. Like, they leave him, and he still tries to, get with them. Because I'm just like, just leave me alone in peace. Like, damn, that's so embarrassing. And God himself, speaking of religion, could never get that story out of me. If my husband did some shit like that.
Why did you tell us that your husband abandoned you your whole pregnancy? That's just something I would never share.
Sympathy. I don't know.
She didn't want sympathy because she was over here cussing us out on the comments. Not cussing us out in God's way, I guess, in the way Christians cuss people out.
And the way that Christians is crazy.
You just be trying to defend this man when the world is telling you the man that you're sleeping with wants you dead, hoe. So... anyways, let's get into our motherfucking
story time.
Yeah.
Okay, so our story time was supposed to be something different, but I changed it because I think that we're at this grown-ass age where there are sometimes people are not on dating apps. So I want to know, what is the most respectable, approachable way, and where do you go and meet single people? Because my story time is, I was at the grocery store today, and this man literally parked his car right behind right behind my car, so I couldn't get out, to try to talk to me when I was putting my groceries in my car. And I was remotely not interested because, one, it's hot as shit. And then you see me putting my groceries in my fucking car and you ain't gonna help me. And I get it. Maybe
would you want him to help you?
I don't know what I wanted, but I just know I didn't want that.
Yeah.
So it's like, for me, it's just like, so where do you singles meet singles if it's not social media?
Apparently it's the Run Club.
I mean,
have you found anyone?
I mean, when I went to the Run Club, I saw a nigga that I already dated. So I was just like, not you trying to be here for the same reason I'm here for.
Right.
But yeah.
Are you going this Wednesday?
I hope I can go because I'm trying to work out 2 times. But if I have to, we'll figure it out because it's a lot.
Because that's
are you trying to go?
I'm trying to. Remember you invited me last time, but
and then you had to go to, and it rained. And then you went to Jamaica, and then you came back,
and it rained again.
Yeah. Maybe. See, whenever invitation was extended, it's probably because, Sammy, it's you.
Yeah, girl.
And I don't know why this rain keeps coming sporadically. I just needed to figure out what it needs to do. It's either going to be here or going to be gone.
I think it's hurricane season already.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's about to be. There's about to be. We are in hurricane season. Don't know which one.
Okay, so let's get into our icks of the week.
All right, my ick of the week. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm going in on the women too hard this week. I'm sorry. You know I love with the bitches, but this week is
mine is about women too.
Oh, we're going hard on women. I
feel like they deserve to be told about themselves as well.
They do.
We keep saying we need to hold women accountable, and we absolutely need to tell them like some shit you do is very low hanging fruit.
Yes. I saw this TikTok, and the lady was talking about how women are sometimes the enemy of their own progress, and I'm just like, that is true because a woman will lose everything for a man.
Facts.
And my ick of the week is you bitches who complain about men that you never leave. Stop complaining. I'm tired of hearing it. I'm tired of y'all going to TikTok telling us, just like the Bible lady, about how horrible your man is, how horrible your husband is, how he didn't tell you happy birthday for the 4th time, how he never says happy Mother's Day, how he refuses to get you flowers, how he I don't want to hear them. I want to hear about the men who do good shit for the wives. Why is it oversaturated with all the bad shit men do? I try to keep scrolling over it and not engage in it, because if you engage in it, you get more of it on your feed. But it's just still coming to me. I'm just like, where are the happy bitches? Do they not exist, or what's going? Or do they not talk about it enough?
I feel like the happy bitches are just existing
and
living in it.
They don't talk about it enough, right?
Because sometimes when bitches hear good shit, they be like, oh, her nigga's a good nigga. Let's go after him.
That's true.
So maybe they're just being happy in peace. Yeah. I feel like it's possible to be happy and not tell everybody that you're happy.
That's true. Because I'll probably just shut my mouth.
Really though, because
I'm not be like, this is.
Because I remember I had a boyfriend where I told people he was good, and then I saw there was a bitch that I worked with that did some weird shit, and I was just like, bitch,
really?
Yeah.
Oh.
Still to this day, I'm on that bitch's ass. I'm like.
Interesting, yeah. So the happy bitches are just being quiet about the happiness.
They're being happy, yeah, because other bitches are miserable, so they want your nigga.
Girl.
And I want bitches to know, just because a man is doing that for you, you won't mean that he's doing it for somebody else. Like, I just feel like it's not one size fits all when it comes to these men. So let's just get that out of your head. So my ick of the week is I absolutely positively need you ladies to stop leaving the house with your wig bands on and your waist trainers on above your clothes. If you're going to wear your waist trainer, please put it under your clothes. If you're going to wear your wig band, take it out in your car. There is no reason why you are in the club and you're over here fixing your wig band that should have fixed your wig. Like,
waist trainer over the clothes gives me
diabolical.
Like chest tattoo vibes.
Ew.
I feel like the same women who wear the waist trainer over their toes have chest tattoos.
I don't understand why you want people to know you're wearing a waist trainer. It's okay to wear it, because sometimes you want to help with, bloating, X, Y, and Z. There's nothing wrong with that.
But what's the point of wearing it over the clothes? Like, don't that make it harder?
I don't know, girl.
That's interesting.
I saw someone walk in the crew like that, and I'm like, girl.
Into the club?
Into the club. And that's when I was talking about the girl with
It was the same girl?
No, it was a different girl.
Oh.
And it was even worse. We were at Sayel. That really fancy. That's what I'm saying.
She had a wig band on
yes.
Sayel?
And that's why I'm telling you, a lot of places have dress codes because of you bitches. Dress codes are because you bitches don't understand
the
decorum.
Black wig band that's like right here?
Yes, that sits there so your wig lays down.
Why?
And y'all know it's the summer and y'all know it's hot. So if you can't keep that shit down, get braids.
Get braids, y'all.
Get braids.
Get braids. All right. Well, the girls are back at it again with another messy-ass episode of Sip and Spill. We create conversations. Oh, wow.
Sipping wine.
I go by the name of Thug Motherfucking Sammy.
And I'm ambitious, the hottest under the sun, Teray. So let's get into some motherfucking wine facts so we can get into some motherfucking tea time.
Tea time.
So today, y'all, we are drinking a low-calorie, alcohol-removed wine. I don't even know how to pronounce it, but I had it before when I started my not drinking alcohol
Ain't
journey.
no liquor in this thing.
And it's really yummy. Like, it's very crisp. It is nice. It would really fool you to think that it's like maybe not a Moscato. I would think that it's a nice Chardonnay. It gives Chardonnay vibes, but I might be wrong. There was one that was a Stella one, so I can't wait to bring that one for you.
I don't want any more non-alcoholic wines.
Excuse you?
I said what I said.
I can't open it. Oh, no.
It's like a champagne bottle. You gotta pop it.
To mention, it has 70 calories per serving. So,
Isn't that per bottle? Because remember last time we figured out it was per bottle.
I think it's per serving, girl.
Okay.
So cheers to another messy-ass episode of Sip and Spill. Ew. Boom.
Why did our glass feel so fake when we did the clink? They had like little...
It tastes like apple cider.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, mine tastes good with the tequila.
It's so refreshing. I like this so much. Yeah. So, y'all, I went like 45 days without drinking. And then when I went out for my friend's birthday, I drank. And the next day I was sick as a dog. So I had to go back to not drinking. So when I drink, it has to be sporadically, or I got to try to mentally like just start slowly getting back into it because your girl getting old. My body changing. So... Mm-hmm. But yeah, not drinking, still going strong.
Good for you.
I love that.
All right, let's look into motherfucking tea time.
Tea time.
So Deandra Sanders, she actually posted today with her and her man, and recently Jacquees proposed. He got on bended knee and proposed to her, and you know what? He said a baby don't make a family, but apparently a baby do make a marriage. So you know what? Congratulations in order for her. I doubted, so I guess I should shut the fuck up, because people were saying he only did it because he wanted the baby to have his last name, because that was the only way the baby was going to have his last name if he proposed.
Honestly, if that's the only stipulation I can get a man that said that about me to marry me, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
Because if not, why wouldn't you have your baby's last name be Saunders? It's like, your dad's famous.
Yeah.
Like, that's a nice come up.
That's a better last name.
That's a better last name, and I'm pretty sure, it's her dad. He is a better man. A lot of people do like Deion Sanders. Mm-hmm. I'm thinking of Shannon Sharp, the one that I was like, when I was...
Oh, the alligator?
The one that you hate.
Girl, he's just...
Personally, I really do hope that he's going into it with great intentions and being optimistic and going back on what he said, and or maybe he was lying to Drizzy.
Niggas usually don't lie. Usually lie to the ex-bitch.
That's true. They tell
us the truth. Hoes and
I just really want to hope that he's not
Maybe he just changed his mind. Like, that's also possible that he could have changed his mind. Like, he said all those things, but now he's, like, seeing her
And that's his only child, right?
I think this is his first child, yeah.
Yeah, so marry that bitch. I feel like we keep saying...
I don't like how he proposed at a baby shower, though. Like, I don't like when people double up on, like, events.
Yeah.
Just keep events one at a time. Like, birthdays, proposals, Christmas proposals. I don't like them. If you love it, whatever. Me personally,
yeah, I don't either. I do not either.
Propose on my birthday. Propose on my graduation. Propose on a totally different day that's special to us from moving forward. So you know what? Congratulations in order for her. We talk a lot of shit about not getting the ring. She got the ring, so I guess we got to shut the fuck up.
And we always say that we are so we're tired of all these baby showers and no weddings. So another congratulations, because you finally are hopefully getting a wedding.
It is so petty.
Because I'm gonna say that sounds so petty to say hopefully, but you know what? I really do hope. I want more women to be married, and I want more women to take accountability for choosing better. So
I want us to cherish marriage the way other races do.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like our race is just like
I don't care if I get married. I have a long-term life partner. No, I want a fucking husband. Okay?
No, we're too into baby mama, baby daddy culture, and it's just like we need to progress from that.
Okay.
Let's get into Rachel Lindsay.
Rachel Lindsay. If any of y'all are, what are y'all, like, what is it called? A love show, I guess? Like.
Love show fanatics?
Love show fanatic, I guess. Like Bachelor Nation, that's what they're called. So Rachel Lindsay was the first actual black bachelorette.
And how long ago was that?
I want to say 8-10 years ago.
Okay.
So
and how long has the Bachelor been going on?
Way longer than that.
Okay.
Way long.
Yeah.
But I mean, anyone that doesn't think that any reality love show is racist is kind of blind to.
It is racist. We all know
They
it's
don't
racist.
even put black men that like black women on the shows.
Yeah,
so
they don't.
I would never go on a love show and get embarrassed like that by anybody's fucking dusty ass son.
Right.
But Rachel Lindsay ended up choosing a partner, and they've been together.
Question. I'm sorry. Side note. Would you go on a love show if you were the only one they're dating, like The Bachelorette?
Then if they actually like black women.
Well, they are all there for you anyway, so
they're there for me,
like
but
women.
they might be there for me, but they might also be there for the camera too.
Of
They're
course, everyone
films.
who's there for you are also there for the camera. If you're going on a dating show, you're there for the cameras. And I believe you're there to find love, but you're also there for the cameras.
But I also don't understand how, like, that Bachelorette, you're like kissing like 8 different people, because I just don't like kissing just anybody, you know?
Right. So why is it okay to kiss 8 different people on a Bachelorette, but if you did it in real life, they'll call you a hoe?
Right? I don't know. I'm gonna say if I kiss 8 niggas in a real life, I'm gonna say I'm the Bachelorette.
That's what we're gonna say. I'm not a hoe. I'm the Bachelorette.
Because I don't understand. I'm like, they just be kissing different people,
and we just accept it.
And it'd be like more than one in one episode. I'm like, ew.
Right.
Like, y'all don't even brush teeth in between that. So me, personally, I don't think so.
I'm not a hoe. I'm just a Bachelorette.
Girl. So
yeah,
Rachel Lindsay, she chose someone, and they ended up getting married. They've been married for like, I want to say it was like they've been married for like 8 to 9 years. I'm trying to think of what his name is, but he is a plastic surgeon, so he made money before he met her. And so she was a lawyer prior to going on The Bachelorette, X, Y, and Z. But as her stardom grown, she stopped being a lawyer, and she's been more in the entertainment. So her net worth has increased.
Her income has increased.
Yes.
Yeah.
So with that, when they are getting a divorce,
she now makes significantly more than he does.
Way more than him. When ultimately they were probably, I think, equally yoked when they first got married. And so now he is asking for spousal support so he can keep his lifestyle. Mm-hmm. And when I was telling Sammy this story, I said, when women say it, we sound crazy. So do we feel the same way because he said it?
I don't think it's crazy to want to maintain the same lifestyle that you had while in the marriage because you get used to it. I think it's odd when a man is asking for it. I just think it's kind of weird as a man. Why are you asking a woman for money? But like I say all the time, the person you marry is not always the person you divorce. Yeah. So as a lawyer, why does she not know better? And like I said before, women are the enemy of their own progress because you knew better, but you did not do better because you're in love with a man.
But you know, a lot of people sometimes don't want to get a prenup because they think that's setting you up for some divorce. But I feel like it really is though. But it really is setting you up for divorce. So I just feel like if something bad does happen, you're protected.
Marriage is setting you up for divorce. 75 or 70% of marriages end up in divorce anyway. So you are getting married knowing statistically that we are more likely to fail than to stay together. So I think if you know what your odds are, then why are you not preparing yourself? I am not against prenups. I'm
not against them either.
I think it's very smart. And prenups don't always have to mean you lose. You can also add things to help benefit you. Mm-hmm. As long as, because it's better to do it when you're in love than you're angry at you. Because a man will leave you in a desert with no water. They will, let's be for real. We know that. So I know you're in love and you're like, oh, he would never do that to me. And your nigga will never like he never would before. So just be smart about things. You knew better and she didn't do better because now she has to pay him. But you know what? I am pro spousal support. So pay up, bitch. You know?
Not pay up, bitch.
Yeah, girl. I am pro, child support, spousal support. I don't care if it's a man or a woman. You're not going to take me away from this lifestyle that I had.
That's crazy.
It is what it is. So recently, is the Nicki Minaj concert still going on? Is she still touring?
I don't know.
I don't think she is. I was so uninterested. I could care less about her tour. I'm not going to say I'm not a Nicki Minaj fan. I love her musically. I don't know. Like learning about her personally just made me like her less and less. Mm-hmm. But I will never, stop listening to her music. But anyway, so recently, Deb, who's Flocka's mom, was on, I don't know if it was on a podcast or something, but it was something online, and they asked her questions about Nicki, and she was saying how she personally called Kim, so they can have like maybe a reconnecting of Little Kim and Nicki Minaj, and pretty much, I don't even understand. To me, I think it's so weird when someone interviews you to ask questions about other people. Yeah. I feel like if you're interviewing me, why are you asking me about someone else? Like, ask me about me. But,
But I also feel like it's messier for you to be the interviewee and think that you have enough, what is the word? I don't know what I'm saying. But why would you think that it's even something for you to speak up on somebody? Because you're going to have to always go back to the person that you're speaking about and tell them, like, oh, shit, why didn't mean it like that?
Yeah.
So
right, why even speak up on it? So she pretty much made a comment, and Nikki does what Nikki always does. So she went on Twitter and ranted about it, and she has a little breakdown talking about Deb. I yelled at you. I never told you to do that. Why would you do that? Don't use me for clickbait. Go to my, biggest tour. She's pretty much setting a boundary about how she did not accept the fact that she went on this show to talk about her and someone who she's clearly have been beefing with for years. And you know what? I'm not even mad about that because we all know Little Kim and her don't get along. So why are you even talking about it? Why are you talking about two bitches who we know will never like each other? It's like Cardi and Nicki. It's going to always be beef on site with them. So why even go and say, I want them to sit down and talk together? It's not going to happen.
But I feel like it's just what they said. It's literally clickbait because it's like, that's going to be a headline. Because they'll be talking about 80 different fucking things in the show. But they'll say, Deb says that she will schedule a sit down.
Well, anything with Nicki Minaj is going to be clickbait.
Facts.
Yeah.
Facts. So we might even make this clickbait.
Yeah, so what Nikki said in her boundary, Deb, that kind of brings us to our topic of conversation this week, and that is setting those motherfucking boundaries.
So there are 6 types of boundaries. There's intellectual boundaries, which refers to the thoughts and ideas. Healthy intellectual boundaries include awareness around appropriate discussion topics as others. These boundaries are violated with the dismissal of someone's thoughts or ideals. Physical boundaries, protecting your physical space, just like it says. And then sexual boundaries refers to the multiple layers around one's sexuality. This involves mutual understanding and communications around desires and limitations when it comes to sex.
Okay, and the next 3 are emotional boundaries, which is having to do with one's feelings, adaptive emotional boundaries, pretty much being able to put boundaries about how you feel. Time boundaries is pretty much how you choose to prioritize your time, and marital boundaries, which kind of confuses me because it's said about having to do with tangible possessions, property, money, health, marital boundaries. So I guess anything that has to do with your marriage boundaries. That's what I'm trying to say.
I was going to say, it sounds like an asset. Type.
That's what it did at first, but it said that includes limitation on who and how will share items and asset and the person. So pretty much boundaries on
So prenups.
That's what it sounds like.
That's what it sounds like.
Prenups. Yeah, so those are the 6 type of boundaries that you can put in a relationship.
So what do you think are the most common boundaries that people place?
I think the most common boundaries are emotional boundaries that people place. Like, don't do this because it makes me feel this way. When I think of boundaries, I mostly think of that. So when you said there are 6 different types, I didn't think of putting a time boundary or a sexual boundary. Well, maybe definitely a sexual boundary, but at marriage boundary. So emotional boundaries are definitely the ones that I think of when I think of boundaries.
So at first I was gonna say physical because I know sometimes people don't like people in their space, but when I was reading about intellectual boundaries, a lot of times people do make that boundary because a lot of people do dismiss a lot of people when it comes to opinions that don't necessarily agree with them. Like, I don't like when you speak to me like this, X, Y, and Z. So I would say that would fall under what I think is the most common one, but I also could be wrong. So why do you feel like it's important to have boundaries?
Girl, because it's important to have peace. I feel like if you don't have any kind of boundaries, it's like you're always getting, what's the word for it? Not to cross over, pushed over.
Yeah.
You're always allowing things to happen to you. You're always accepting everything because unfortunately the way human beings work sometimes is we'll do stuff to you as long as you let us.
That's a fact.
So if you don't have those setups in your life, people are just going to keep doing stuff to you as long as you let them. Like, a bully ain't gonna be a bully until you punch that bully in the mouth, and then next thing you know, that's the bully not gonna bully you no more.
So I think that it's really good to have boundaries because it helps with your self-concept of worth. So if you, like you said, if you constantly allow someone to keep doing something, it really kind of diminishes you because it's like, damn, do I look like the kind of person that you can keep doing that to?
Yeah.
So we start blaming ourselves for how other people treat us because we didn't put boundaries.
Yeah.
So I guess it kind of ties into the same thing that you said.
And a lot of times people realize that they're getting treated a certain way and it's just they don't do anything about it. So it's just you think you have to have some kind of confidence to put boundaries down? Because
absolutely.
Yeah.
Because I feel like speaking up for yourself is so easy, but people don't do it at all.
I don't think it's so easy because if it feel like it was so easy, more people do it. Because a lot of people struggle with speaking up for themselves, and it's crazy because some people will speak up with someone else before they speak up for themselves. So it's why? It's what is it that people have to be able to be no, I would not allow this to happen. Even a lot of women who are, trigger warning is getting sexually assaulted. We know we do not want, even we know we don't want this to happen. We know we're not okay with it, but yet we don't speak up for ourselves. We kind of like smooth it over, trying to make it okay. And we're not setting those boundaries. So it's like you have to have a certain kind of like ability to know what you want and be able to speak on it to be able to set boundaries. And I feel like that's what a lot of people don't have. We talk about setting up boundaries. Who do you think boundaries are for?
So for me personally, I think that boundaries go for both people. I know a lot of people say it's for like either for the other or one or the other, but I really think it's for both because I feel like once you put this boundary in place, it gives a baseline of what your expectation is. And I think that you need to implement those in like all your relationships. I feel like there should be no relationship without like boundaries, to be honest.
Yeah.
So I think it's for most people. How do you feel?
Honestly, I feel like boundaries are for you. But I think a lot of times people put boundaries to control other people. Like, for example, they're like, "Oh, you can't like other people's pictures. That's my boundary." And I was like, boundaries are to like tell people what they can or can't do. Boundaries are to tell people what they can or cannot do to you.
Yeah.
So I think it's just for you. It's what you allow. It's for you. It's for your safe. It's for your mental health. Your safe haven. And I know it's kind of hard because especially if you're a people pleaser, to set that you feel like you're disappointing someone or you're letting them down because they no longer have that access to you or whatever it may be. So it's like you don't want to set it because you like the accessibility to them, but it's like it's not even healthy for you. So and even if it's someone that you really love, like I know a lot of people are like, that's my sister, that's my mom, that's my baby daddy. It's like, even if it's your own child, cut them off. You do whatever is best for you. So
My question is really quick. As a side note, who do you think it's hard? Like, what type of relationship do you feel like is the hardest to place boundaries with?
I think it's per individual. I really don't have difficulties with placing boundaries with anyone in my life. But I think if it's gonna be anyone, it's gonna be my partner.
I think it's me personally. I think the hardest boundary to place is with my mother. I just think it's because when we have parents, they're kind of set in their ways already.
Yeah.
So kind of trying to teach an old dog new tricks, it's kind of like you have to kind of work around what they find acceptable as boundaries. Even when you try to teach them what boundaries are for you as an adult, they still look at you as a baby.
Yeah, honestly, I've been really blessed. My mom doesn't cross any boundaries. I have a very chill mom, and she's very understanding. So I don't have to place any boundaries to my mom. She's very respectful.
None?
Not really. I mean, I grew up in a house where my mom used to knock before she came into my room. So she's always been very respectful. She's not like, she's been like the total opposite of my dad. I think like, I don't really have to place any serious boundaries with my mom. Like once I tell her something, I feel like she's accepting of it and she's just like, whatever. And she's not like nosy or in my business or trying to like control my life.
My mom is so nosy.
My mom isn't at all, and she's not going to control my life. The only thing she keeps asking about is when I'm getting married and stuff. But
nosy enough. That's African nosy though.
Right, but no, I think the person I would probably be harder for me is probably my partner because even though I know like, I like to like I'm kind of like I'm not a pushover. I'm not a pushover at all, but I feel like sometimes it's easier for me to be. Not just everyone, but your partner has a soft spot for you, so it's easier to like bend those rules for that person and like not listen to like what's best for you and like allow stuff to happen and not set boundaries for the partner.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we're going to talk about how people use boundaries as manipulation. So as earlier she said that sometimes people will use a boundary, but it's really not really a boundary. It's just a preference.
Yeah.
And I would say that I haven't ran into anyone that has used their boundaries as manipulation. So I'm not so much sure of how that works, but I know that
we know what happens. Yeah.
We know what happens. So I know people get, like we said, people get away with what they can. Yeah. And I more so think that's something more of a codependent situation where someone's codependent on someone, that the person that is the more, let me say, dominant in the relationship. You see what I'm trying to say? The one that's in more control.
Okay.
Will use that as manipulation.
Yeah, I just think like a lot of times people use stuff like, try to not allow people to go out or allow their partner to hang out with their friends or allow the partner to hang out with their hoe friends or, follow certain people or like anything like that. I see that people use that.
But
like, that's my
not
boundary.
following certain people or liking people, you don't think that could be a boundary?
I think people can use that as a boundary to control someone. Yeah. I don't see that as a boundary. Like, how is that? I don't see that as a boundary. Like,
Okay,
my boundary
for example,
is you can't follow that person.
Okay, so let me use my situation for example. So, remember when I was dating that one guy and he was friends with someone I did not like? And I kept telling him I did not like it.
Oh, okay.
And then he was like, but we're friends. And I'm like,
okay, yeah.
So, would you consider that as me being manipulated to him when he knew that I didn't like this person and she wasn't a good person?
Yeah.
But he still was like, I'm going to be her friend.
Right.
Who's manipulative in that situation?
I don't think you setting that boundary was being manipulative, but my point was people can use it to be manipulative and stuff.
Okay.
But yeah, but I don't know, because you can't really tell someone you can't. You you can though. Actually, you can. It's your part. That's your man.
Because that's why I feel like I just feel like is there? Because I feel like you're saying what is manipulation, but I'm like, if it's a boundary that makes someone uncomfortable, why is it considered manipulation? Because I'm like, that relationship made me very uncomfortable. Because I'm like, y'all are not really fucking friends. Y'all are just
right.
Because we're not dating and they're still not friends. So it's like you really did to get under my fucking skin.
So there was no reason for you to
exactly,
fight
but
so hard for that relationship.
I feel like it was just. Because he felt like, I gave up so much for you. And I'm just like, y'all don't ever date someone that always throws in the face how much they gave up for you. Because if someone really cared about you and loved you, they do it because they love you, not because what they're going to get on the end of it. Because if I can get a fucking penny for every fucking time, I'd probably be a millionaire.
Really? He was doing you like that?
Yeah, like when he first, like after he moved here and like he was going through a lot of stuff, like, with other stuff, he was just like, do you know how much I sacrificed to be here? And I'm like, but I didn't ask you.
I feel like he was already going to Houston regardless.
Exactly.
You just happened to be there.
Exactly. So I feel like I was used as a
you
punching bag.
You already here every 2
exactly
weeks.
every 2. We're not even gonna get into it.
Okay.
We don't talk about Bruno. Okay.
We don't talk about Bruno. All right. So sis, when do you know to place a boundary?
When I start constantly feeling conflict with someone's energy.
Mm-hmm.
Like, sometimes when you're always around someone, you're like, something is off. I probably need to speak on it.
Right.
Because, if you don't speak on it, it turns into resentment. Mm-hmm. So I think that whenever I constantly feel like this energy is not okay with me, I'm okay with speaking up.
Right.
Or I'm going to dismiss myself. Mm-hmm. So what about you?
Pretty much the same. The minute you make my nose turn up, I'm like, yeah, I need to place a fucking boundary on you because I don't need to be feeling like this. So, yeah, the minute you give me an ick, because the thing about me is I have a very low tolerance for bullshit, and I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but it's just I don't allow anything to affect my space at all. Like the minute someone does anything to make me feel like the energy I'm bringing out is not the energy I want to give out, it's like I need to just remove myself from you, or I need to remove this interaction we're having, or whatever the case may be. So yeah. Girl, once I'm doing this, yeah, that boundary is crossed.
Okay, so when was the last time you had to place a boundary?
Damn, I don't even remember. When was the last time I had to place a boundary?
Think about it, because I know when's the last time I did.
Okay, you go first. I'm gonna think about it.
Okay, so I know y'all have been following me on this journey that's very recent, but it's still a journey of my sobriety-ish. It's so crazy to call it sobriety, because I know...
What is sobriety?
Like when you're like not drinking.
Oh, sobriety.
Okay. Sobriety. Ami gonna do what she do, and I'm gonna do it well. Yeah.
I thought that was really okay.
Hey, I just missed one letter.
Right.
I'm not above being always right. So I think it's because I went on a date with this guy, and he's like, let's go for drinks, and I'm just like, I'm not drinking. And then so fast forward, we end up going out, doing some shit. Then we end up going somewhere, and I got
Did you pour me some more?
Yeah, I did.
Damn, I didn't even see that happen.
Okay, yeah. So yeah, we went out, and then we went to a place, and then he was drinking. He was like, are you going to get a drink? And I'm like, no. And then throughout the night, he kept asking me
That's annoying.
Yeah, he kept asking me are you going to drink? Are you going to drink? So I literally ordered a drink, and I wasted it. I literally just put it in front of me and kept drinking my water bottle.
That's annoying.
Yeah, because I'm just I feel like I really need people to respect when I say I'm not drinking. I'm not going to be sober for long, but as I am trying to set this, new rebrand that I'm doing for myself, I need to be around people that respect it. Mm-hmm. And even, I can be outside and I can be around people without drinking. I just need them to respect it, because I'm going to respect that I'm not drinking. Mm-hmm. That's why I keep saying this for both people, because I'm like, I could have easily gave in. I gave in by getting a drink, but... technically, I still gave in, even though it was a boundary that I'm like, I'm not drinking.
But you didn't drink it.
I didn't drink.
Yeah.
Yeah, so.
So, yeah, I just remember when the last time I set a boundary is because I finally let the guy who always be spinning the block on me stop spinning the block. So I had to set that boundary because I
Who was
always
this man? I knew it was him. I knew. I just always, we just assumed he was going to be her husband. That's probably what it was. But every time he came around, it progressively just got worse and worse and worse.
Girl, yes. And every time I let him spin the block.
And
you know what? I'm a weak ass bitch. I'm not holier than thou. And it's just like, you know what? Finally, I'm just like, you cannot keep spinning the block. Like, I gotta start practicing what I preach in this podcast. I tell you bitches to leave your nigga. I'm a leave because they're gonna keep coming back, and then it's not a good thing. They're gonna keep coming back because they know they have access to you. That's the only reason he keeps coming back, because he knows I'm gonna say yes, and I say yes every time because I'm a weak ass bitch. So it's like I finally was like, no, I'm not doing this anymore. If you're gonna keep doing what you're doing and not being anything, I'm not gonna keep letting you in my house
in your bed.
Yeah.
Y'all did the nasty?
Life. No, we didn't do the nasty, but because I refuse to do nasty with him. But
girl, hold your phone.
I'm not used to having a phone, y'all. I usually write my cars down because I hate this. This is why I don't like to do this phone thing. But yeah, girl. So I haven't had sex with him since. Even the last time he tried to spin the block. Okay. I'm not giving him the coochie. He don't deserve it.
Because I feel like that's what I'm going to do. If you spend the block on me, I'm going to waste your time. I'm not going to give you no coochie. I just feel like I want you to spend a little bit of money. I feel like you got to put some pussy payments on. And then I'm like, ooh, he doing something. Yeah. I'm going to probably, But I like to tease you because you wasted my time. It's time to waste your time too, bitch.
Girl, waste my time, I waste your money.
That part.
Yes.
So there was this TikTok video that we viewed, and it said how when you set boundaries with others, it could also be triggering for them because you are now holding them accountable for the actions that they're doing. And no one likes self-reflection. We already went over that in so many fucking episodes ago. So why do you feel like when it comes to setting boundaries with people, it's triggering for them?
So pretty much you're telling them that they can no longer treat you the way they've been treating you. And a lot of times people enjoy, the way you love on them. So it's like, okay, now that I've been doing this whole time, why is it an issue now? For example, I had a friend who I've allowed for a long time, which I'm no longer friends with her now, to kind of let her use me as an errand boy, I would say, because I would always do stuff for her. Like anytime she needed something, I'll just be able to. She was my very needy friend. She always needed something from me, and a lot of times I would always give it to her every single time. And then finally, I was just like, "You always ask for a lot." I remember the last time we were going to go on a trip together, and I, was being nice. I'm like, "Hey, I'm going to the hair store. Do you want to pick up something?" And then she told me to pick up something for her, and then she was annoyed that I didn't get the right color, and I'm just like, girl, I didn't have to do this. So when I started speaking up about it, she was getting annoyed, but you always do stuff for me. What's the difference now? I'm just like, well, I'm not your errand boy. I'm not, just because I'm willing to do something for you doesn't mean I have to do something for you. And when I do something for you, you're not appreciative. You're actually being a bitch about it. So why the fuck should I do something for you? And it's just and it took me a while to finally put that boundary. And when I finally did it, she was just confused because it's she seems like, well, am I a needy friend? I always need something. Well, you really were.
Yeah.
And it triggered her because she was just now she had to look at herself like, damn, I'm a bitch who always needs something.
My question is, do you think that it's necessary to set boundaries with every relationship that you're in the beginning before, because sometimes, you always tell me, you don't need to go through something to know you don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
So do you feel like it's necessary when you meet people hey, as my friend, or hey, as my partner, these are things that I would appreciate. I don't know if
I don't know if you have to set boundaries, but I feel like you can just have conversations with them and let them know this is what I will and will stuff. You can be like, hey, I won't allow this.
Well, that's boundaries.
You can be like, no, you don't. You don't have to be like, hey, I won't allow this. But you can be like, hey, I just don't like what people, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to set it with them, but you can let it know that you don't like this. Mm-hmm. I feel like whenever you set a boundary, you let them know, I don't like when you do this to me. I don't like when you act this way, or I don't like when, or I'm not. Okay, I'm uncomfortable when this happens. That's setting a boundary, right? But when you're just in conversation talking about, oh yeah, I just don't like when people do that. It's not saying that you're the one doing it. You're just letting them know that that's what you don't like. But I don't know if you have to always set boundaries in the beginning, because sometimes you don't even know something's a boundary until it becomes a boundary. So sometimes you have to have a relationship with someone to realize, okay, this just triggered me. Because I didn't know that I had a problem with it until it was her. Because I never have a problem with doing stuff for my friends. But I think it's because she was so obsessive with it. Mm-hmm. So I don't think it was asking me for stuff. I think it was the necessity of how much she was asking. Because I have absolutely no problem. But it was just like, damn, bitch, you kind of always need something. Like, I've never had a needy ass bitch like you. And it's like, the need was not something normal. It was like, I'm stuck in the country. I need a way to get out the country, like type shit. It's not like a normal need.
No, it was excessive.
Yeah, so I think it's more of what it is. And sometimes you don't know something triggers you until you're triggered. So it's kind of hard to set boundaries prior before. So if you know it bothers you, I think it's best to have those conversations with that person and say, I don't like when these things happen, rather than saying, you can't do this with me.
So I think that when I was younger, it was harder to set boundaries, but now I would find it easier because I have a greater self-worth and I have more confidence of speaking up for myself. Mm-hmm. I would like to say, though, it just, I guess, depends on the relationship I have with someone, if it's hard for me to set a boundary with them. Mm-hmm. Like, if I am dealing with someone that I've let a lot of things slide, it's kind of hard to just start inserting rules and instructions of how to treat me. But that's why I just asked you earlier, I think it is very important for me as a person to kind of set boundaries in the beginning so I don't have to do it down the road, because I do get very lax the more I get to know you and the more I love you, because it's like, I know most times people around me are not doing anything maliciously. And if they do, I can probably clock it because everyone around me can like kind of give me some like, Ami, do you see who this person is? So and then by that time, like I said, with that one friend, by the time that shit was down, it was so far gone. And every time I tried to check her about it,
was too late.
She kept doing it, and she thought the shit was funny too. Yeah. So that's what I'm saying. I think it's difficult when you're so deep into something instead of in the beginning, like, hey, these are things I don't like and I don't want to put up with. Mm-hmm. But that's the only reason why I feel like it's difficult when it gets more involved. In the beginning, it's easier.
Right.
So, do you find it difficult to set boundaries?
Absolutely not. I'm gonna let you know ahead of, like in the beginning, whenever you piss me off. I have very low tolerance for bullshit. My problem is it takes me a while to set a boundary. It takes me it takes me a while to speak up sometimes. That's what I would think that's my problem with setting boundaries. It's like it takes me a while to finally say.
But you just contradicted yourself though. Yeah. You just said you have a low tolerance for bullshit, but then you say it takes a long time for you to speak on it.
Yeah.
So how do they coexist?
I think it's dependent on the person because. Yeah, I think it's dependent on the person. I feel like I think this is what it is. With men, I'm quickly to set up. I have a low tolerance for bullshit. I'm quickly. Okay. But with my friends, it takes me a while to speak up. It takes me a while to be like, okay, what you did actually bothered me, because I let it slide for a while, and then I'm like, okay, bitch, you're like, well, why don't you tell me when it happened 3 times ago?
It's really easy to be snappy at men, and I feel like I need to start giving them a little bit more grace, because I'm literally
don't give them more grace. Men don't need any. Men have enough grace. Actually, men have too much grace. If we're being for real, so don't give men any much grace. I feel like you should always leave men on the first big red flag. Not just anything little, but like the major fuck up. You should definitely exit the situation. But yeah, I would say that my boundary setting is very easy for men, because I will leave you immediately, or I will set that boundary immediately. But with my friends, it takes me y'all doing something a couple times for me to finally say that it bothers me. And then sometimes when I do finally say it, it's like, well, why are you telling me now? Because you're bringing up shit that happened 3 times ago. And I'm like, you're right. I am bringing up something.
I was like, because you've done that to me before. And I was just like, girl, why didn't you say it then? And you were like, I didn't feel like it was important. Mm-hmm. So that's why I say, I think it's very important to say something the first time it happens. And you always,
I don't.
And you told me before, you were like, I don't think it's important to say something when it happens once. And I'm like, but how does someone know to correct it if they don't know the first time it bothered you?
And it only happens with my friends. It never happens with men, because the first time I'm going to do something, I'm letting them know. But with my friends, I feel like I'm more lax. I'm more lenient. It's just, that's your friend. You're not gonna be so snappy with someone that you care about and you love. So it's like, I need to be more, because honestly, if I was setting a boundary with the old girl with how much she was asking for shit, she wouldn't be asking for the whole world, Mars and Jupiter too, and Venus and Uranus.
She asked for everything. Because being out of the country, asking for a favor is diabolical, because you're out of the country with someone else.
Yeah.
Why don't you ask them?
Right.
But we ain't even going to get into that, because God going to handle her how he needs to accordingly. So we're not going to get into that.
Yeah. So what's the hardest part of setting boundaries?
What is the hardest part? I think the hardest part of setting a boundary is introducing this new version of yourself to other people.
Yeah.
Because I know we always joke about, oh, this is a rebrand, this is X, Y, and Z. And people don't want to see you in this new light because they see you as the version that they see that. And like we always say, you are able to change your mind, change who you are, change what you do. And either they're gonna accept it or not. But that's why I think it's so hard, because people are like, girl, you was just drinking last week. Girl, you was just doing this 2 weeks ago. People don't want to think that you could just change that quick. Like Whitney Houston said, I changed my mind. I changed my mind.
Right.
I don't want to be viewed like you all are.
Right. You know how people say, oh, I don't know who she was 10 minutes ago. I'm a new nigga now.
That's really, that's how I feel. Like, the rebrand is as quick as my brain.
Okay.
So what do you feel like is the hardest part of...
I think the hardest part is potentially losing that person that you set a boundary with.
Oh, that is true.
You know, it could be a boundary that they're not willing to respect. And then when you set a boundary and someone's not willing to respect it, you either choose to accept that they're not going to respect it or move yourself from the situation. And you have to understand that if that person's not going to move correctly, you have to be like, peace. And that's the hardest part of it. Because I'm like, yeah, you're not understanding of this boundary that I set. And it's like, there's no point in setting the boundary if you're going to keep letting the person cross it.
Facts. That's a fact.
So it's like you set this imaginary boundary and I just keep going over it, and then you just set it again and you just keep going back and you just cross this line again, and it's just going nowhere. So at a certain time, you're going to have to be like, okay, if you're not respecting this boundary I'm setting, you have to leave my life.
Yeah.
So are all boundaries created equal?
So I think I personally cater different boundaries to different relationships, because certain boundaries that I have with you won't be the same boundaries that I will have with Honey. And it's only because our relationships will be different. Not that you guys are not my friends in the same capacity. You guys require different things. So I feel like certain things that for you, I know you won't even naturally do, I don't need to make it a boundary for you, and vice versa. So I don't think that I make all the same boundaries for everyone. And if they are, some of them are just not as... they're just tailored to the person. Because if I know how the person is, I know what boundaries I'm okay with having with them, if that makes any sense.
Okay.
So for you?
I think my boundaries are the same across the board, maybe, but I feel like I'm not as assertive to everyone with them.
Okay.
You know, it's not even a really boundary if I'm not asserting them. But yeah, I guess I kind of get what you're saying.
Episode 1, season 1.
Right. I guess I kind of get what you're saying, because it's like some people, I don't even have to set that boundary.
Yeah, because you know they won't even do it at all. Yeah.
So let's get into how to set boundaries. For you motherfuckers who have problems with setting boundaries with people, including me, actually, that's a lie.
That's what I'm saying. Girl, do you have a problem with it, or do you not? Because I feel like every other line, you be like, oh, yeah, nah, I'm going to set a boundary. Fuck that shit.
Yeah.
Next time we're like, oh, no, because I love you so much, I would never set a boundary. Which one is it?
I think I do not. I do and I not. Like, it's both.
I do and I not.
Right. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just the moment of time. Like, sometimes I do, sometimes I not.
Okay,
like,
bitch, how do you set a boundary?
But how you set boundaries is you be as clear and straightforward as possible. Do not raise your voice. I feel like when it comes to talking to someone and trying to get like them to understand you the best way possible, yelling and being emotional and being in distress is not the way to set a boundary, because at that point they're not even listening to what you're saying, they're listening to how you're saying it to them. So yeah, that's the best way to set a boundary to me.
So as she said, I also said be firm and direct. I said that you need to affirm your feelings, but also set the boundary. And then the last thing I said is, when it comes to setting the boundary, stand on business.
And on business in Chanel shoes.
So setting the boundary is easy, but standing on it is hard. Do you want to talk about that?
Girl, because we all are victims of not standing on business. And it's okay, because standing on business is hard. It is. And standing on business is hard because it's I want to be able to stand on business, but it's like, even nigga, I keep letting him spin the block. Like, I'd rather it happen one more time, because it's just so hard to stand on that motherfucking business. Like,
I think the reason why it's hard to stand on business is because you don't want to believe that someone you affirmed and told your feelings to will really play in your face. You really would think, like, I wouldn't treat you like that, so why would you do that to me? So I think it's hard to stand on business because we are trying to be graceful. We're trying to allow them to get reintroduced to what it's like for you to set a boundary with them. And people will be like, so I get it, but And it's really hard because it's the people around you. You're just like, fuck.
Yeah.
So now here we are. Okay. But thank you all. Oh, let's get into some questions, right?
Yeah.
Let's get into questions. Yeah, because that's the last one we had.
Okay. Do you find it easy to respect other people's boundaries they set on you?
Sometimes, if I understand it. And I say that, and I'm saying that very seriously, because sometimes if I don't understand why the boundary is there, I'm like, do I really do that? Because I don't, sometimes you don't know that you be doing.
So now it's triggered.
Because no, I don't think I'm triggered, but I'm just saying sometimes I genuinely don't think I do it. And if it is, it's not intentional. So if I ever cross someone's boundary, it's never intentionally. So do I find it easy? I can always give myself another chance to try if they allow me to. But I would never purposely cross someone's boundary if they blatantly told me, I don't like this. So my question to you is, who teaches us to set boundaries?
I don't know. I don't know who taught you, but I feel like we got to learn.
Yeah, because I don't think that I've ever seen my mother, like, actually set boundaries. Even as an adult, I'm thinking in my head. Like, she'll tell me something, like, yeah, I wish this person wouldn't call me. I'm like, did you tell them not to call you? Yeah. She was like, no.
I know my mom don't be setting boundaries because people in Africa still be calling her at 6 o'clock in the morning. Bitch, tend that boundary. I didn't call my mom a bitch, but at the same time, it's like she always complains about these people waking her up, all her family waking her up. But you let them call you.
Yeah, you let them call you.
So you just have to. I don't think my mom know how to set no boundaries. She don't. I think all my that come from my daddy because that's why probably I mix match. I do and I don't because my mama don't, my dad do. So that's my problem. Yeah, girl. My question to you is, when was the last time you had to set a boundary?
Well, we already said that.
That was okay. My bad.
Well, my last question to you: with age, do you feel like your boundaries have changed, or do you feel like they're always been the same?
I think they can always change every day.
Okay.
Every day is gonna change. Yeah.
So, thank you all for following us on this journey for season 1, episode 1 of Setting Boundaries.
Season 1, episode 1, so crazy. That's y'all.
And
so many
thank you for allowing us to tell you how we start our boundaries, how you can start your boundaries, how you can respect other people's boundaries. And can you follow all the girls on all social media platforms at The Rose of Spill except Twitter?
It's just Sip Us for One.
You get 5-star rating because there's some 5-star bitches.
Ow.
I sip wine, kick my feet up when I get tired. And as I recline, take another sip, let my thoughts unwind. Sipping and spilling it. Sipping and spilling the tea.